The Blackthorn Podcast Network has awakened. From the thorns through the fog, the real ones rise. In a world choked with echo chambers and empty sound, a network is born from the marrow of myth, the grit of truth, and the unapologetic fire of those who walk the weird way. Welcome to the Blackthorn Podcast Network, a rogues gallery of hosts who don't just speak. They summon, they challenge, they ignite. Einar Blackthorn, forge-born, axe-tongued, eternally unbothered, host of I Am Heathen and So Can You. He's your favorite chaos druid with a mic. If your favorite chaos druid also ran a food truck and had opinions on runes and Star Wars. Gray, co-host of Geek Speak, a quiet storm of intellect and sarcasm cloaked in warmth and curiosity, sees the voice of nuance, the calm in the storm, and the one who catches what others miss. Together, Einar and Gray deliver Geek Speak, where folklore, fandom, and fire collide. Whether it's ancient relics or the MCU, nothing is off limits. Maddie, host of I've Got You Safe, Babe, protector of the heart, her voice is a lantern for the lost, a mix of witchy wisdom, fierce boundaries, and gentleness forged in battle. Heathen Burgundy, the velvet-voiced heretic, host of the Heathen Burgundy Hour and Walking the Pagan Path. He doesn't just sip the tea, he stirs the cauldron and burns the patriarchy with a smile. From witchcrafts to wisdom, from fandom to fury, from satire to sacred truth, Blackthorn is not just a podcast network. It's a hearth for the heretics, a call to the kindred, and a rebellion with a rhythm. Listen, share, join the circle. Streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and everywhere where the signal still reaches the wild ones. If the forest speaks, it speaks in our voices now. Walk with us. The Blackthorn Podcast Network.
So what I'm going to try, I'm trying a new thing. So, yeah. What I'm going to try is I'm going to try recording on here and see how it works for the podcast itself. We're going to do the episode on deconstruction recorded on here and see how that works from TikTok to editing to YouTube to Spotify. So we're definitely taking some risk here to see. Yeah. Hi, welcome back to I Got You Safe Babe podcast with your host, Maddie. Today we're talking about deconstruction. Deconstructing from a monotheistic faith and adding in a faith that I believe in, which is omnitheism, which is just basically accepting that everybody believes what they believe for the reasons they believe it, and that it is true to them, whatever that looks like in their life. So everything is true to the person who believes and practices it is pretty much my motto on a lot of this. So, deconstructing is a personal journey through asking yourself why over and over again, similar to if you were to ask yourself why you like a specific food or a specific music, only this is typically in regards to religion. So when we're talking about deconstructing and deconstructing our faith, it's not to lead ourselves away from what we already believe, but potentially understand why it is that we believe those things to begin with. So for instance, as somebody who used to consider themselves Christian, I asked myself, why do I consider myself Christian? Do I have the knowledge base for it? I did have the knowledge base, but did I believe everything within those books? No. And I had to dig and deconstruct that little by little, piece by piece, part by part, moment by moment. And I really had to deconstruct it by asking myself, why do I believe this? Does this fit with the life that I live? Does this fit with the morals that I hold? Why do I believe this? Why do I follow this? Why? What is the need that this fits, right? And I had to do that over and over again, breaking down, asking myself why again, breaking it down again, asking myself why again, breaking it down again. And eventually I got to the point where everybody's going to believe what they believe or nothing simply because it's what fits in their life. For an atheist, that does not mean that they are wrong for being an atheist at all. In fact, I think they are right for themselves. They are following the science. They're believing in what can be proven to them. What can be scientifically proven, historically proven, where there are facts and evidence. And I think that that's a very beautiful thing. For a Christian, typically, they are looking for a radical acceptance of self that they are unable to give themselves. Therefore, they must have been created to be understood by a greater being. With Islam, I found a need for rules, regulation, and order in order to doing things, right? Like, things are laid out. You have to understand why they're laid out, why you're doing what you're doing, and follow the patterns, right? We're doing this because it serves Allah. And that is absolutely a valid way to live your life. For me, I believe that all of those things are true, and Nordic polytheistic animism is true, and Celtic paganism is true, and Roman, Roman gods are true, and Greek pantheon is true. All of it is true to those who follow it and those who believe it. And if you can believe something is true, then you can tap into the energy in it. For instance, when I talk to people who are Christian, I don't say, oh yeah, I'll light a candle for you. It's typically, okay, would you like me to pray to you? Because I do pray for you. Because I do believe that their God exists, and I do believe that their entities exist, and I do believe that they are believing it, therefore it has merit in their life. And I would not disrespect them by saying, oh, let me do this other thing that's, the way that I do it because it makes me happy. Like, that's not the goal there. That's not the goal there. So yeah. I would definitely say that it comes down to asking yourself why you believe it, what need it's filling for you, and if that is a need that will continually need to be filled. When it comes to things like identity and acceptance and fear and concern for what happens after, or a reason to stay, a lot of people find religion as the reasons for that. And while I may not need religion as the reasons for that, well, I may not have those needs, and I may not have that desire, and I may not need that, many people do. And just because it's not a need of mine does not mean it's not a need of somebody else. So, very interesting to think about and talk about and consider. So, yeah, when we talk about deconstruction, a lot of it is talking about personal journey, personal experience, personal craft, right? Like, your life is a journey through your own personal experience, your own personal existence, and what you're needing, what you're wanting, what you're fulfilling within that. Deconstruction is simply finding what you need and why you're fulfilling it the way you are. It's not to lead you away, pull you closer, nothing like that. Deconstruction is not meant to push you in any direction. Deconstruction is meant to ask you questions that you then ask yourself. Questions that you don't need to answer to another person. Questions that you don't really need to answer to anyone but yourself. Asking yourself why you believe something, why you follow something. If that belief fills that core need for you, whether that core need is a need that will exist forever, or if that core need is a temporary need that you have and can be fulfilled on a short-term basis, all of those are still valid, right? It's still where you're at in your journey. And no one has the right to take that away from you, whatever faith, whatever belief, whatever magic, whatever religion. No one has the right to take that from you. And they shouldn't. And they shouldn't take it from you. So, yeah. And that's my spiel on deconstruction, which was only 13 minutes, which means it's going to be a shorter episode, which is fine. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at. And this is a lot of how I film my podcast and how I would continue to film podcasts if I were able to have guests on. I believe I can have guests now, actually. Ayo, I can have guests. What is this? I've met the criterion for guests, y'all. I've done it. I've done the thing. Awesome sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just see if he will not be able to talk. He has laryngitis. I'll bring up one of the companies. One of the people I think should start their own podcast. The head of Blackthorn Podcast Network. And yeah, I'll do that. See if people want to come up now that I can have guests. Although I will say that Einar Blackthorn is really struggling to speak right now because he has laryngitis, which is why Geek Speak and I Am Heathen is on a delay. So he put out a notice about that. I love my babies, my podcasters. Oh my goodness. People really don't be understanding when I say I'm chronically ill and my hair falls out in chunks and it is hard to record because I have to like eek. Yeesh. But it is what it is, you know? We survive. We always survive. Anyway. Any foozles. Any schmoozles. Any wahoozles. But yeah, I'm able to take guests now. If you would like to come up, talk about podcasting, talk about what we're doing, talk about whatever. Guest requests are open. Actually, I think I can set it up in a... Yeah. There we go. Allowing guest requests. There we go. There we go. See, not so hard. See, look at this. Who else? Yeah, there we go. And then all I'm gonna do is make my other account. There, I'm gonna add moderator. There we go. Okay. So So I just added a moderator, which is my own other account, so we're good, set. I can mod the comments without having to do all the things. Hope you got your kiddo, Heathen Vet. Fucking awesome, dude. Heathen Veteran is an awesome human being. An awesome human being. But yeah, my guest requests are open if you want to come up. So. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm finally able to have guests and now none of y'all wants to come in here. What is this bullshit? What is this bullshit? What is it? What is it? Okay, bye.
Raven Findings Gifts and Treasures is a wonderful company out of West Virginia. They make multiple different statues, art, portable altar boards, and drinking horns. If this is something that interests you, please reach out on their Etsy store for any of their products there or check out their TikTok page as well. Oculus 3 Knives is a wonderful heathen creator who hand forges these amazing blades and sells them directly from his TikTok page. If you are looking for the blade that might just suit you and your needs, you should absolutely check out his channel and reach out to him to make sure that you are getting the blade that you desire.